Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. This isn't a wand, this is actually a screwdriver, but I needed something. So, Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them is a prequel spin-off to the Harry Potter universe. It takes place about 70 years before the first Harry Potter movie. Interestingly enough, it's been roughly 15 years since the first Harry Potter movie came out. That's a long time. I was 14 when that happened, and it's been 5 years since the last Harry Potter movie came out, and now we have our first prequel spin-off to the series. So, Fantastic Beasts stars Eddie Redmayne as Newt Scamander, and he is this magizoologist, as the movie says, and he comes from England all the way to America, specifically New York, with a suitcase full of magical creatures, or fantastic beasts. And throughout the course of the film, there's some adventures and shenanigans where some of the beasts get out, and, well, chaos ensues. Going into this movie, I had a little bit of excitement towards it. I mean, I thought it would be nice to go back and see the Harry Potter universe after 5 years to see what else there has to be, what else is offered, and suffice to say, I had an enjoyable time with this movie. First of all, Eddie Redmayne plays a very convincing Newt Scamander, and he's very convincing. He actually knows his stuff. He knows all about these animals, and he's basically just this wizard who's trying to do a good thing and try and get there from one place to the next without too much trouble, but naturally trouble happens. The rest of the cast, they all did fine jobs too, but I want to talk about Colin Farrell a little bit because he was a pretty good, well, unassuming character. I definitely liked him in this movie as the pseudo-villain. Well, yeah, I say pseudo-villain, but I'm not going to tell you more about that. And he was this imposing little authority figure who just walks around and does these really cool things. Like, one big complaint about him is that he's not in the film nearly as much as I would like, but he does do a good job in the film, and I just wish there was more of him. Regarding the animals and these fantastic beasts, they look pretty fantastic. The special effects on them look pretty well, and I think one of these called the Niffler, which is constantly going throughout the film and stealing stuff, it's actually really, really adorable animal. And I kind of wanted one throughout the film. And it does a good job of displaying the comic relief of the film and bringing some laughs where there needs to be some. Actually, the cast as a whole had their share of funny moments throughout the film that actually made me laugh a bit. I also didn't know Ezra Miller was in this film, and he plays the role of this dude named Credence, and you'll learn more about him as the film progresses, but I actually didn't think he'd have a speaking role because for like the first 3 times you see him, he didn't really talk. He just kind of stood there looking mopey, but there's more to him than meets the eye, and you'll see that in the film. If I had any other complaints, it's that some of the scenes in the film were a bit choppy, and the pacing could use a little editing because for one moment it seems like there's a scene going somewhere, and then it jumps to something else entirely, and then when that scene is done, it jumps to something else entirely, and then sometimes back to where it was originally, and it can be a little jarring and confusing at times, but ultimately nothing too bad that completely takes away from the film. I should mention this, but David Yates is returning to film this, and this is his 5th film out of the Harry Potter universe, because he directed the last 4 films in the Harry Potter movies, if I'm correct, and now it's nice to see him back here again doing what he does, and you can definitely tell that he had a definite role in this film, as did J.K. Rowling, because I found out she was the producer for the film as well, and she did a fantastic job with this. But then again, of course she should do a good job with this. I mean, it's her universe, so naturally that would make sense for her to do a good job. I will say this, there is a pretty big revelation towards the end of the film, and that definitely means that there will be a sequel involved. I heard they're supposed to be making like another 3 or 4 of these, I'm not really sure, but sequel hook is definitely hinted at heavily towards the end of the film, so be on the lookout for that. As a whole, though, this movie did not disappoint me. It was a very welcome re-addition back to the Harry Potter universe. I mean, there's this huge world around on the other end of the planet, and it's nice to see other countries with magic and how they relate to everything in their society. And you actually feel like you're back in Harry Potter world. It's not Hogwarts, it's not the actual Harry Potter series, well, the main series, because Harry and them aren't around, but it's definitely nice to be back here after all this time. And I will definitely say that this movie deserves a gold ribbon rating from me. Okay, so Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. Have you seen it? What did you think? What's your favorite book in the Harry Potter universe? Whatever you think, leave me a comment below and tell me how you feel. Also, don't forget to check out my Twitter at AsteroidMike. Don't forget to check out my blog. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you want to see more, you can click on the link below or wait until the end of this video. And until then, I will see you around. So until then, I will say peace out.